Hey there, I'm Chef Shayna, and welcome back to Celebrate the Bounty. Today we're at the River Park Farmers Market, diving into the world of pomegranates. Small in size, but bursting with flavor. Join us as we explore the sweet, tangy, and versatile magic of this powerhouse fruit. Today we're at CMC Farms and we're learning all about growing pomegranates. I'm with Lisa, and Lisa, tell me a little bit more about your growing operation.
Hi Sheena, welcome to our farms. So our growing operations were small family farms out here in Raisin City, California, established in 1986, and we grow several varieties of fruits, mostly for our farmers markets, and we are on our farmers market block.
So what makes the Central Valley so special for growing pomegranates?
Central Valley feeds the world. So we grow everything here, and that's what makes the Central Valley really special. On our farms, we're Armenian, so we kind of grow our specialty products. Pomegranates are the #1 staple in Armenian culture. For our farm, it is specialty fruits that we grow.
And pomegranates are typically harvested at what time of year?
They are harvested end of July till November. And kind of remember that because of the holidays. Like again, it's very special to us, and we use them in everything.
Well, thank you, Lisa. So now we've learned about pomegranates, how to grow them, how to open them. I'm feeling very inspired, so let's head back to the market and get cooking. Fancy seeing you here.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm excited to be at the farmer's market, a little cooler than yesterday when we were out in the field.
Most definitely.
Yes, I would love to check out the pomegranates that you have and see what you can offer.
Very good. Let's grab a bag. They're right there at the end.
Wonderful. And tell me about picking the perfect pomegranate. Do I look for color? Do I look for size?
I look for color, and so I cut some samples up here. You can kind of see these are the little bit lighter ones. This is the red pomegranate. It's a little sucked in. That means there's lots of juice, and you can tell the different colors on it.
It's a little, what did you say?
It's sucked in, kind of.
Sucked in. That means
Yeah, it's like, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when they get sucked in, like these, this is gonna be really red, really juicy. These are the ones that I would squeeze and make juice with. So just squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it.
Okay. And when you squeeze it, you cut this off?
Cut this off, and then that's it.
Okay, very cool. And then this one?
That one's good.
Good, maybe for taking out the arils and garnishing a salad?
Exactly.
Okay, great. So when I get these home, what's the best way to keep them fresh?
So if you're not gonna use them right away, put them in the refrigerator. That's the best way to store them.
Okay.
Right now it's really warm, so refrigerator's the best.
And my kids love snacking on them. So is it a good idea to get out a bunch of barrels and then store those in a container?
Store this in a little container, a little Tupperware, put the cap on it, should be fine.
Thank you so much for your time, Lisa. I appreciate it. We're gonna take the pomegranates and head back to the kitchen and get cooking. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tuesday River Park Farmers Market. I'm so excited to have you here for today's Discover the Bounty live cooking demo. Today we're highlighting one of nature's most beautiful and flavorful gems, the pomegranate. Pomegranate are like little jewels in the kitchen. Their seeds, known as arils, are bursting with flavor, a perfect balance of sweet and tart that adds a delicious pop to any dish. Plus, they're as versatile as they are beautiful, making them a fantastic addition to both sweet and savory recipes. On the nutrition front, pomegranates are packed with antioxidants, which support heart health and immune function. They're also a good source of fiber, vitamin C and K, and potassium. Including pomegranates in your meal is a great way to boost your health while treating your taste buds. California stands as the top pomegranate producer in the United States, with the majority of these fruits cultivated right here in the San Joaquin Valley. In 2020, Fresno County's pomegranate production was valued at over $47 million. When it comes to easy recipes, pomegranates can be sprinkled on salads for a fresh burst of flavor, added to yogurt or oatmeal for a nutritious breakfast, or even used as a garnish for grilled meats. And for something refreshing, you can use pomegranate juice to make a delicious antioxidant-rich drink. All right, are you ready to explore some creative ways to use these amazing pomegranates? Let's get cooking. So we're doing a pomegranate glazed salmon. Again, pomegranates are super versatile. I also like putting them on top of salads. They add a nice crunch. They add a beautiful color as well to a salad. So a great way to dress a salad up as well. And I was telling the kids, we made a pomegranate chia seed pudding. I was telling the kids you could also make little pomegranate ice cubes as well. You know, if you freeze them into the ice, it's also very fun. We're gonna get the glaze started. So I like to make this glaze at home when I'm quiet and focused. I'm hoping I won't burn it tonight while I'm talking to you guys, but we'll see. No promises. I have half a cup of pomegranate juice. You can see the beautiful color. This pomegranate juice came right from the farmer's market here. Beautiful color, so much better than buying it at the store. If you can get it fresh, you just get all that yummy goodness there. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of honey. And then a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And then a teaspoon of soy sauce. And we're gonna mix that all together. It's gonna take about 10 minutes for it to reduce down. So you'll see it start to steam up a little bit, and it'll reduce down to about half its size to make a nice glaze. When you're making this at home, you do want to just kind of stir it every once in a while, keep your eye on it, and you'll know that when it's kind of reduced down, you'll know it's ready to go. So you guys can help me keep my eye on it while we continue on. All right, perfect. I have heated the pan here. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I have a beautiful salmon fillet that's ready to go for you guys. I'm just going to coat it with some salt and pepper. This recipe is super easy to make at home. You can recreate it. And then we're gonna just add it straight to the pan. If this had the skin on, you would do skin side down first. Make sure your pan is nice and hot before you put it on. Until it is nice and hot, yes, the sizzle. And you'll go ahead and cook that on each side for about 3 to 5 minutes till it's cooked all the way through. So we'll let that cook. We'll flip it over and continue on. You could also prepare your salmon in the oven. You could prepare it on the grill as well. This is good because you can just do it all in one place and be ready to go. You can prepare a side of veggies to go with it, or if you made a nice green salad, put the salmon on top and then the glaze with some of the arrows. That would be fun as well. So you're just gonna kind of watch both of them. I have some garlic. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and put the garlic on top of the salmon on this side, and when it flips, we'll go ahead and saute it. We taught about garlic earlier today, so I had some garlic and I thought perfect addition to this dish. While those are preparing, I am going to dice up some fresh parsley. We'll use that as our garnish at the end. And then we're gonna go over how to open up a pomegranate. Pomegranates are being harvested now in November. So it's a great addition to your holiday dish. Go ahead and chop up the parsley. And we'll be ready to go. Any questions thus far?
Would it matter if it's light or dark soy sauce or regular olive oil versus extra virgin?
No, I typically use extra virgin olive oil, and then for the soy sauce, I usually use the reduced sodium because I like to add my own salt in the cooking process. But no, if you have a flavor that you like or type that you like, go for it. You're adding just a teaspoon of it, and that's really just to capture that umami flavor, to round out the sweetness of the honey and the tang of the pomegranate. Yeah, good question though. All right, so cutting open a pomegranate, it can be super intimidating at times, and I've heard all sorts of crazy techniques, like hit it, put it in water, all the things. what the farmer taught me. This is kind of the crown of the pomegranate sticking up kind of royally like a pineapple, if you will. You're gonna take off the crown. Didn't go as deep as I should have. And then there's kind of like the membrane. So you just cut down along the line of that membrane. It's kind of like cutting open an orange as well. Come along that membrane line. Like so. And then you should be able to kind of just pop it open like such. And then you just get all those arils ready to eat or enjoy. Add some here. And I like just taking care of a couple at a time and then just storing it in an airtight container in my fridge. Once I'm making the mess, just make it once and clean it once, versus every day when I go to feed it to my girls as snacks.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does it matter how much honey pomegranate that we use, like this recipe, or like there's like a decent amount?
You would have enough with one pomegranate to make this recipe, yeah. If you buy the juice already made too, then certainly. You can juice your own pomegranates. I have never tried it. I've always bought the juice, but I was told if you just squeeze the arils and strain it, then it would work. It does make a very beautiful color, but it's also quite messy. So I flip the salmon, we'll let it cook through on the other side. We can see this is coming to a boil. We want it to simmer, and then it will reduce down. Nope, wrong one. You can smell the garlic now cooking? Yes. Yeah, about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. One more time.
The sauce that you serve, like it takes about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, the sauce, it's about a 10 to 15 minute process. Yep. And it will happen really fast. So it'll take a while for it to come to a simmer, and then you'll notice it start to reduce, and it's time to pull it. If it keeps going, it'll get really, you'll make like a caramel out of it instead. So you want to catch it right before it reduces down too much. I have it high. If you have a fire gas stove, you could probably do medium high. But on this, high. Yeah. So you can see it starting to reduce down. What other questions do you have? Yes.
Does it matter what type of seasoning would you add on the salmon?
No, you can add different flavors. Dill is really good with salmon. Even thyme would be good with these flavor profiles if you had some fresh thyme, but if there's a certain seasoning that you like, you could certainly add
Does it matter that it's with pomegranate with different type of seasoning, or it doesn't matter for any type of seasoning with pomegranate on it?
Oh, with the pomegranate, I think again, like the dill or the thyme, parsley would be good with the pomegranate seasoning. Yeah. Good question. All right, this is still going. Yes.
So normally like with seafood, we see a lot of cooking with butter, like to saute it in butter.
Yes.
So could that be replaced
Instead of olive oil,
Yeah.
you could certainly use butter. Butter has a nice, richer flavor. I try to use olive oil because olive oil tends to be a little bit healthier. You could also do both, and I do that a lot too. Olive oil and butter melted. All right, so I've reduced this down because it's cooked through mostly, and we're still waiting for this, so we'll just give it a couple more minutes and we'll be good. to go. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt and pepper on this side.
Now, what's the best way of taking down right now that it's like farm raised?
Yeah, so farm raised versus fresh. So that's an ongoing argument at my house. I prefer fresh wild caught salmon, has better health benefits for you. My husband prefers farm raised. It tends to have a little bit more of a, what was that?
Like a taste of your taste?
Yeah, a duller taste. I don't know. So it is personal preference, I suppose, on what you want.
How does, like, first you can bite down and with the skin on, what would be your best recommendation to take the skin off?
I cook it and then take the skin off. It comes off really easily, but I like searing the skin so it gets crispy because it does have health benefits as well, right? Eating the skin. So I like to cook it with the skin on, and then. How do you know when the skin is cooked? It's crispy, so it'll brown up and get crispy. Like yeah, a little bit darker than a golden brown. Yeah. This is taking a little bit longer, but again, all stoves are kind of different. A watch pot never boils. We're all staring at it. The other thing is you can buy frozen salmon as well, and then just thaw it in the fridge. So if you take it out the night before or the morning that you're going to cook it, and let it thaw in the fridge, it'll be ready to go. Good for you. Any questions from over here? Are you guys hungry?
Myths about like people like cleaning their salmon. Do you believe in like cleaning it, like the method of cleaning it before cooking it?
Oh, so it's cleaned typically before they package it to sell it. I will just typically pat it down with a napkin and then season it.
Why would you pat it down?
Take off some of those liquids so then that it can absorb the seasonings, mostly salt and pepper that I put on it.
Would you recommend it buying it in a store or like just like throw a little bit on it?
Here in Fresno, I would suggest buying it at a store, just because we're not really near the ocean. There is a fish market downtown though that I'm sure you could get some good fish if you had a day just to go down there and explore. That would be fun to do, but I don't know that they have vendors here ever that sell fresh fish, but if you find out, let me know. All right, let's see. It's still taking a while. It takes a moment until it doesn't, and then it like goes super fast. Again, on my gas-powered stove, it takes about 10 minutes. And maybe it's only been 10 minutes, I don't know. Can smell the garlic now. Give it just a couple more minutes to thicken up, and it'll be good to go. Serving it, like I said, you could serve it over a salad. You could do a side of mashed potatoes would be really good. Garlic mashed potatoes would be good with some asparagus with it. Smashed potatoes. You boil little potatoes and then smash them, put Parmesan, and then put them in the oven to crisp up. Would be very good with it as well. We've been doing a lot of cauliflower rice. That'd be tasty with it as well. Do you guys like preparing salmon? Do you do it at home a lot? Yeah. What other questions do you have? Any questions?
Would this be like prepackaged without cooking the salmon and frozen, like, you know, like a marinade, like ingredients or something?
Yes. Well, if you wanted to marinate it just to add more flavor, you could certainly marinate it in the pomegranate juice, maybe for the day. If you let it marinate during the day while you're working and then come home and prepare it, you could totally do that. If you wanted to, you're saying marinate it like and freeze it?
Yeah, so like, you know, prep or, you know, for later on.
Yes. I'm all about meal prepping for later on. I think you could, if you had your fillets frozen with maybe some salt and pepper on it, but maybe some marinade. I don't know. I've never tried it that way, like freezing the marinade on it.
You always see like pre-packaged frozen salmon already marinated, and then you just put it in the air fryer or something.
Yeah, you could probably do it. I don't see why not.
I got a question real quick.
Yes.
So, is there a difference that if you add pomegranate on the stove, is there a difference that you place a salmon in the oven?
Oh, if you wanted to cook this in the oven,
Yes.
you could do that. Yeah, if you wanted, instead of preparing it in a pan, is that what you're saying? Maybe
Yeah,
make the glaze and then.
Like, I'm more like, so when you cook the raw salmon and you add some seasoning on it, would you able to put some pomegranate on top of it and place it inside the oven?
Yeah. I wonder about the pomegranate. Aril has water in it, and if you put it in the oven, what happens? So I've never tried that, but I certainly, yeah. A lot of mess to clean in the oven? I don't know. I'm going to try that now. I don't know why you couldn't. I've done it. I put pomegranates in with Brussels sprouts as well.
Let us know what happens.
I will let you know what happens. And might call you to help me clean my kitchen. One of my favorite dishes to do, and has nothing to do with pomegranates, but it would look pretty with pomegranates, is salmon. I cut up Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes into little cubes, put olive oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, and then put the salmon on it and put that in the oven. So you can cook it all at the same time together. And then when you take it out, you could, yes, I love one sheets. You could garnish it with the glaze. So if you have that all in the oven and then grab the glaze. My oven is not functional, so I try to avoid oven recipes here.
Would you say it's different how you cook it in the grill or the oven? Or like,
Yeah, it does kind of change the flavor profile. On the grill, you can get that sear, nicely, whereas in the oven, it doesn't have that, brown crisp to it. Yeah. It's a good idea to try it all different ways and see which way you prefer. For sure. All right. I did add the pomegranate arils in there, by the way, to warm those up.
how do you know when the texture is near done or not?
So you want it to kind of coat the spoon, which it is starting to do, kind of syrupy. So I'm going to add it here onto my salmon, and then we'll serve it up.
How long does it usually take, like to cook this?
I'm so sorry. One more time.
How much does it take to finish the dish?
How long does it normally take? Got it. It's about a 15-20 minute proposition, I would say. All right, and I have 6 of you. Let's see if I can evenly break it up. You call his piece?
No, I call the big piece.
Oh, the big piece. Fair.
Don't worry, I won't be that great.
I'm trying to make them even, but you guys have been so patient. I appreciate. And I'm letting this caramelize a little bit more, so I will come back over and give you a little bit more of the drizzle.
It is a family favorite.
So I have 2 daughters. One of my daughters loves it. My other daughter, she's a little harder to please. She's in her preteen years right now.
There's always one.
Always one.
Look at that color. It's so nice.
Yeah, going into the holidays, the pomegranate adds just a beautiful color to a dish.
Very festive. And it's
Yeah.
not very good though. Yeah.
So you can imagine over a green salad, the color would be very pretty. All right. I think you did get the biggest piece, only because you called it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, or the biggest piece in this case.
No wonder you have that work with it.
Let's go ahead and not burn this. All right, I'm gonna come back by with a scoop of the so you can see it's thickened up now. It's a little bit, yeah, has that really pretty color.
It does have that pretty color. It's much more darker too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're so sweet. Sharing is caring.
How long have you done this recipe for?
You know, I make salmon so often, but I always like to kind of change up
A little bit.
the toppings based on the season. So kind of comes around every fall that I use the pomegranates.
Was it like a family recipe?
I don't know that it was a family recipe. I don't know where I got it
Like
from.
an accidental.
Yeah, accidental recipe. One year I had a lot of pomegranates and just started kind of playing with gelling, making jellies. And, yeah. All right, well, bon appetit. You guys are more than welcome to eat. I had a blast cooking with you today and exploring new tasty flavors from the farmers market. Farmers markets are such a wonderful place to find fresh, locally grown veggies and try out new recipes with them. See you next time for another fun cooking adventure.